Enugu is once again positioning itself at the center of innovation as the second edition of the Enugu Tech Festival kicks off from February 24th to 27th, 2026, with over 50,000 participants expected and global investors watching. The big questions are, what is this event about? Can this festival truly transform the Enugu and Southeast into a major tech and investment hub? To answer these questions rather, and more, I'm delighted to be joined by Eliezer Ezra Aja. He is the head of job creations, EMTT Enugu. Ezra, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Noah, for having me.
Yeah. Okay. So Ezra, let's start off with something code to code. I know Enugu is the code there. Please, could you explain?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yes.
I think the thinking around code to code historically has always been, what is Enugu known for?
Okay.
Enugu has historically been known as a coal city. We mine coal as a retirement place, people to chill, stuff like that. But because we are poised to be the next exporter of talent, it makes sense that we're now known for technology-related stuff, which is code. So the idea of the Enugu Tech Fest is to move the thinking from seeing Enugu as a coal city alone, but a city that has now grown beyond coal as a sustainable base to now even have code, which is like technology, programming, design as an integral part of it. So that's what the Enugu Tech Fest is basically about.
Yeah, because I was going to ask, what exactly is a Tech Fest about?
Yeah.
And I want you to just, for a common... I don't want to say common man, but
for the layman,
really, how they would understand it.
Yes.
What is the Tech Fest about?
Yeah, so it's first of all, like, the nomenclature is important. Enugu Technology Festival.
Yes.
So it's a festival, it's a celebration of all things tech in Enugu. It means that we've done so much in Enugu as a tech institute. You know, we have lots of people that work in different areas of the world, Microsoft, Google, that were core and integral people that started in Enugu. We have startups that have raised millions of dollars that are founded and, domiciled in Enugu. So the Tech Festival is a celebration of all of these things, where people are able to learn, people are able to even win stuff, earn money from that, and more importantly, people are also able to network. So it's just going to be 4 days of all of these things together from day one. Anything related to government and policy is going to happen on day one. The governor is going to be there, a couple of other dignitaries. Day two, startup founders are going to have their deal room.
Okay, we'll get to that part, right? Yeah. Were you among the people that organized the first edition?
Yes.
Oh, which actually was the maiden edition, right? And this is the second edition. Tell us, were there challenges encountered in the first edition, and have solutions been preferred to those challenges?
Great question.
Yes.
The maiden edition, while it was very successful, due to sponsors and partners like Afia TV, which we're very happy that you're partnering with us again this year.
Thank you.
Yeah. We had a major aspect of beginner's luck. It was the first time, yet it was the largest tech festival that had happened in Nigeria. We had over 25,000 people at the ICC. We pushed the ICC to its limits. We had over $300,000 in GMV that happened, deals that were done there. You've watched an Enugu homecoming story. The inspiration was from the Enugu Tech Fest as well. A lot of investment has happened, and that was just the first edition. What we did after that was to do a proper postmortem. It's also good. I was in Austin the other time for South by Southwest. I was in Nairobi for ASF Kenya. So we had to go to a couple of other events to now have some sort of benchmark as to what we're able to push. So even in the branding, we fix that. In the experience, we fix that. And more importantly, the cooling system in the ICC is back on. Last year, we had a lot of people finding themselves because we had maxed out the capacity of the ICC. But thanks to the governor, we've now fixed all of that. And so it's able to work properly the way it's supposed to do. So a lot of the things that we didn't get properly, but we're able to scale through because of beginner's luck, we've operationalized them, and now we're able to fix this properly. So it's going to be an experience you're going to enjoy. It's going to be well planned, timed. It's going to be a proper event. Yeah,
I heard you say that it's the biggest tech festival that's happened in Nigeria.
Yes.
So we don't have anything like that has come from Lagos, Abuja.
Which is very interesting.
Yes.
Share numbers. In fact, when the governor came last year and he drove in, he was like, why are people milling around? Are they waiting for me to come before they sit in?
Yeah.
He didn't know that the hall was filled up.
Wow.
3 overflow halls were also filled up. And the people milling around were people checking the exhibition area.
Okay.
So people that he thought that were crowd that were supposed to be inside, were people that there was no space for. Very important to understand that outside Ogun State, Enugu has one of the highest concentration of tertiary institutions, over 30 tertiary institutions, which means we have very young people that are educated, also talented, but also hungry. So when you have events like this that teach people tech, connect them to their future jobs, and opens a lot of things for them. They're going to come, and they're going to come in their numbers. So from a sheer number perspective, it was the largest. 4 days, 3 days last year, 4 days this year. I'm expecting over 50,000 attendees at the festival this year.
Yeah, I was going to ask something about the economic impact of the Enugu Tech Fest. And it's not just for Enugu and the Southeast now, it's for Nigeria, because this is the biggest tech fest, like you said. So tell us, what will be the economic impact of this festival?
Yeah, and I think it's also important we start discussing things like this, because we're going to publish an impact report after the festival to just itemize these things properly. First of all, the local economy has been boosted because we've had craftsmen and artisans working there since Thursday last week, setting up the environmental branding, all of the things that they need to do. So these are over 100 people that have been hired to just set up things there, So from a jobs perspective, we're looking at GMV of like gross merchandise value of like 25 million. Just people that are doing stuff at the Enugu Tech Festival. Then we also have people that are coming to invest in Enugu. We're talking to the CEO of RiceVest a couple of weeks ago, and he mentioned that and RiceVest is a very big company, registered in the US that expanded to Nigeria. And he mentioned that he's been looking for an investor, Ikeze. Ikeze spoke at Enugu Tech Fest last year. And the Enugu Tech Fest was the opportunity where the founder of RiceVest was able to meet Ikeze of Better Ventures, and then they met. Now, think about how much in USD has invested. We have a deal room, and the opt-in for the deal room is $25,000 and above. And we have about 12 investors that are going to be there on Wednesday.
The deal room. I read up the synopsis for this particular. Yeah, and I saw something like that.
Investment business roundtable as well. Yeah. So in terms of economic impact, I just hope we're able to track every single outcome, because people are going to get jobs. People are going to earn a living. Dexify is going to give up to $10,000 in cash giveaways at the event. So people are going to win laptops that will teach them tech skills that they need, that will now help them to get jobs and mentor people. So not only is there an immediate economic effect, I want us to see it from like the multiplier effect, that this action is going to lead to this action, and then everybody is, economically satisfied at the end of the day.
Okay, so you're projecting over 50,000 participants, both on-site and offline. Is there an online?
Physical.
Everything is physical.
Yeah, but we're going to stream.
So no streaming.
We're going to stream. Okay. And we're also going to cover on Afia TV as well. Live coverage. But we don't, these are vanity numbers. We try as much as possible to, because for us, it's a festival. So there's a real use case of people talking to one another, exchanging contacts. Networking as well.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I mentioned the 50,000 participants, because I wanted to know the infrastructure and partnerships in place to handle this number of people. And when I mean the infrastructure, I mean the venue capacity, the security details, and power for this particular event. It's a 4-day event.
It's a 4-day event.
So what's the venue, and you also give us the security details and power?
Yeah. So venue-wise, the ICC is, it's a modern infrastructure.
Yeah, thanks to the governor.
Shout out to His Excellency Peter Andubisin. So it's been set up in a way to ensure that everybody is catered to completely. So not only that,
I just remembered something. You mentioned earlier that when the governor came in last year, a lot of people were actually outside loitering. Would it be the same case this?
They were not loitering. So that's the interesting thing about the Tech Festival. There's an analogous nature to it, where everywhere you are, you can gain value. And which one we tell people at all times: if you're coming to the Enugu Tech Festival, have one thing you want to go away with. If you're coming to get Unoma's number, for instance, that's all.
That's good.
You understand? I met the love of my life at Enugu Tech Fest last year.
Okay.
And we're getting married this year. That's proof of concept for me. So people outside are not milling around, they're networking. There's nothing like loitering again, because everywhere is an experience center. If you're in the hall, you're listening to people talking. If you're at the exhibition areas, you're seeing people exhibiting stuff, winning stuff. If you're at the overflow hall, you're talking to people. And if you're just standing around there, you're interacting with people. The government is also sending security details for the event. We also have Eagles, the bouncers as well, to ensure. And it's less about security and more around crowd management, so that people don't stampede people, And then we have multiple partnerships with ticketing to ensure that people get their tags on time. People are able to go where they're supposed to go. We have over 500 volunteers, to ensure that everything happens. And myself and my team coordinating all of these things as well to ensure that it's a proper event. And most importantly, we have an active feedback system.
Okay.
So if you have any questions, any suggestions, any feedback, tag us on social media, send us DMs, reach out to anybody, talk to anybody wearing an Enugu Tech Fest shirt, and they will sort you out 100%.
Okay, so it's not just economic value that it's giving; it's also giving love things.
It's given.
All right. So let's talk about the collaborative landscape of this particular event. Is it just solely the government, or is it in collaboration with the tech? Is the Techfest more of a different organization? Then it's collaborating with the government, or is this solely government funded?
These are really great questions. I just need to say that these are really great questions. The Enugu Tech Fest is a collaboration with the Enugu State Government.
Okay.
They are the Ministry of Innovation and Science and Technology, which is headed by Lawrence Prince, and the Enugu Tech ecosystem, which I belong to.
Okay.
I'm just a tech bro.
Wow.
And because the idea is that for something like this to work, there has to be a staying aspect to it, which means we can't just come and talk and leave. There has to be like a policy aspect to it, which is why the government is part of it. So that whatever we're deciding, to make Enugu a more investment-friendly place, the FRS needs to drop taxes. As a tech person, I can't push for that. But in collaboration with the Enugu state government, we can do things that matter. We're part of the first states to domesticate the national startup bill, because we've always had this collaboration with the Enugu state ecosystem and the Enugu state government. The Enugu Campus Hackathon happened last week, Friday. We were there at the event as Enugu Tech Ecosystem.
I saw the numbers.
And it was just the tip of the iceberg to the entire thing. But because we've historically done things in partnership, things that we're able to do can last. Okay. So the event is anchored on the partnership with the Enugu Tech Ecosystem, consisting of Tennessee, Genesis, Zend, all of these companies that form the tech ecosystem in Enugu, the individuals as well, communities like GDG, and the Enugu state government, headed by the commissioner.
Okay, so I want to ask this very important question, right? When some people hear Techfest, we're also predominantly a country that has a lot of people who are not literate and who are not so exposed. When they hear Techfest, they're like, it's computer, it's going to be technical, it's going to just be a lot. No, it's going to be a lot of numbers. So they wouldn't want to attend. Is this inclusive? Does it go beyond this line of thought?
Yes. I think fundamentally we need to understand what technology is. Technology is anything that makes a process better.
Okay.
So if I wanted to do something here and I used I wanted to stone that camera and I stoned it normally and it took time, and I used a catapult and it was faster, that catapult is technology. So what we're doing is exposing people to how you can leverage technology for things. So even if you come tabula rasa, you have no knowledge around technology, you would see an entry-level course by One Good Analytics from the UK, training people on tech. There's an entire tent dedicated to people that want to learn new tech skills. So even if you don't come with anything, you can learn. Wow. If you have no knowledge, you can meet somebody that will mentor you. Genesis Tech Hub is going to be there. Atwin Coding Academy. These are people that teach people how to code for free. You can go to their booth at the exhibition area, get a voucher, sign up to their program, and learn tech. If you're a proper person that already understands tech and can code, you get job opportunities there. And if you're a startup founder at the nadir of your career, you get investors there. And then if you just want to see people and chill, you do that there. So the key thing about the festival is that whatever it is that you want to come for, there's something there for you.
Okay. I love the definition you gave for technology.
Yeah.
Quite nice.
Thank you.
Okay, let's talk about the lineup of speakers. I saw the lineup, 18. Tell us about them.
Yeah.
The people that you can remember.
No.
Yeah.
So I lead experience and programs at the team with Joy and a couple of other core members of the team. And one thing we've always tried to curate is value. So it's always been value packed. Even in the maiden edition, we had Ikeze of Better Ventures. Ikeze speaks at 1 or 2 events in a year in the world. Wow. And he was at the Enugu Tech Fest. The governor was there as well. Kingsley Eze was there. This year, bigger, better. Zynox, he celebrated his 70th birthday yesterday. Is going to be there as a headline speaker. Kingsley Eze of Tennessee is going to be there as a headline speaker. Napa Onwusa, she was at Amazon, she was at Google, she was at Nokia, she's going to be there as well. I am going to be there as well. Okay. The commissioner is going to be there as well. We have people from the Web3 industry that are going to be there as well. It's so much. My fear is that it's going to be too much for people. So that's why I'm going to ensure that all of these things are recorded as well. Okay. And you can rewatch these things and get snippets later. But it's going to be super packed with actual value from the speakers.
Speaking of values, right? What kind of content, conversations, seminars, and workshops will people be attending? The people attending, they should be looking out for. They should be expecting to engage in what kind of content? And
I see why you moved this question today, and I started answering it at the beginning. So first things first. Government and policy. You know, we always talk about the triple helix of innovation: governance, education, and industry, academia and industry. These three people work together to ensure that innovation happens. So the first day is going to be focused on government and policy. What is the plan for the federal government, for Enugu, in terms of digital inclusion? We had a conversation on Afia called Where's Our Data, where we talked about why there's a misattribution thing where you search for something online and it's looking at your data there in Port Harcourt or Lagos. So the NCC and the NIDA are going to be there on day one. That's the Federal Ministry of Communications, to discuss how this can work properly. Day two, for startups. So if you have any idea, you're looking for an investor, you're looking for startups to invest in, day two is the best day for you to come. Day three is for Web3 and emerging technologies. AI is moving very fast. Web3 is moving very fast. So day three, we're going to explore all of that, discuss them, talk to some of the people that have done this at scale. And day four, we're going to tie it up and do a proper party to wrap everything up at the end of it. So like I said, it's a festival.
It's a festival.
So everything. So if you just want to come for the Oringo, come on day four.
Okay. You mentioned startup, and I also mentioned earlier that I read the synopsis for the event, and I saw startup investor matchmaking and a deal room. How many investors are confirmed, and what kind of funding opportunities can startup realistically expect?
So we have multiple investors confirmed. But for the deal room,
multiple.
We have multiple investors, but we also have we're trying to categorize it so that there's a matching, because what we're trying to do is match your investment thesis has to rhyme with the startup's idea. So that's why there's a matching aspect to it. So we have 12 judges who are committing between $25,000 to $250,000 per judge, and a couple of others that are committing $600,000 to $1 million per judge. They're all going to be there. We've sent them the investment brief for each of the startups that are going to pitch and talk about their products at the event, and more importantly, where it's going to sink. So the deal room day, they're going to be there. It's going to be like some sort of Lion's Den type stuff.
Yes.
You know, people are going to be there seated in their cubicles. People come and pitch similar to the campus hackathon. But importantly, the matchmaking now happens after the pitches, where they go to the cubicles of these investors and spend 10 minutes with them, talking, answering questions, and then doing that. So you're going to get actual grants. I spoke to a couple of people that want to just give grants. The Jerry Eze Foundation, when you talk with them correctly, you're going to get equity-based investment, debt, depending on whatever matches your business. The key thing is to catalyze growth in your business and your startup, and that's going to be dedicated to the second day of the festival.
Okay. I know that the ETF is an annual event.
Yes.
But how do you keep up? How do you keep up to ensure that this is not just an annual event, but a sustained ecosystem builder?
Yeah, thank you so much. First thing first is that we had to establish the ETF and promulgate it as part of something tied to the ministry. So that way it has to happen every year. Secondly, we've had almost 45% returning sponsors. People that sponsored last year and said, you know what, let's add an extra 10 million. Let's add an extra 5 million and continue with this. So, and that's a very important metric, because it means that the sponsors are happy and they want to do more. They are seeing real value. Rice sponsored last year. They came back this year. Tennessee sponsored last year. They are back. They came back this year bigger. TD Africa came last year. They came back more this year. Eight Water. So all of the sponsors, almost 45% of them returned. And the other ones that came are new sponsors that plan on returning next year. So the sustainability is by ensuring that this happens outside government. So it's not a budgetary approval. It's something that we go around and look for funds to ensure that it happens, and then it happens. So it means that, first of all, that's done. Secondly, it's a collaboration-based event. So everybody that's part of the team has their 9 to 5. I run QMTT's job creation department and a startup as well. Joy is HR manager for Zend. The commissioner is a commissioner. There's another role. You understand? So everybody has their 9 to 5. So they come to do this thing because there's a shared value in the outcome, which means we're invested in this and we'll keep doing this year in, year out. And we have volunteers that come up. So somebody that's on the central team this year was a volunteer last year. So things like this are things that we've been able to institutionalize to ensure that the program continues on and on and on. And it's always going to continue, particularly because of the impact. So at the end of the day, if you see that $20 million was raised, it makes sense to do it again and calendar
True.
year. And that's the plan.
True. You say year on year.
Year on
Yeah. So where do you see the ETF in the next 5 years?
I see it like my goal. The way I look at it, we have events that we see as inspirations. We see the Consumer Electronics Show that happened in the US, Select USA Investment Summit in Maryland. I was there 2 years ago, and South by Southwest. South by Southwest particularly because South by Southwest happens in Austin, and it increases the GDP of Austin by 3% every year. Austin is a very large city with very expensive rates, but 3% from an event, 140,000 speakers, not attendees. So think about, Enugu Tech Fest has a real to contribute to every year the GDP of Enugu increases the week of the Tech Festival. That's the vision, that's the goal. So that everything that happens, everybody's coming down to Enugu. And we've seen a lot of Akorona happening with the festival. James Olaya is coming to speak. He's an Enugu born and bred person that is a senior developer in Birmingham. He's flying all the way down to speak. You know, Bitcoin Chief was there last year. All the people that are now taking pride in their being Igbo, not even just Enugu people, because I'm not from Enugu. A lot of these people are now taking pride that we're Igbo people and this is the things that are happening here. And they want to support it. So it keeps getting better. And at the point, I want it to just be a couple of, sons of the soul, sons and daughters of the soul that come together and say, let's keep doing this and keep doing it better. And then it becomes a staple. That's the plan. Okay, so finally, when is the Enugu Tech Fest second edition starting? Tell us the date, time, and venue. And also, how can people get to be part of it? Is it paid? Is it free? And how is the registration process like? Yeah. First things first, it's starting tomorrow, Tuesday, the 24th of February, and it's going to run 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th. So from Tuesday until Friday, it's a 4-day event. Second is entirely free. Not only is it just free, you literally can get stuff from it at the end of the day. So you can come zero and leave with at least $100, $1,000, like whatever. You understand? So you go to enugutechfest.com and register, get a ticket. And if you just come to ICC, you can just register there as well. Starting at 7:30 tomorrow. 7:30? Yeah, the event officially opens at 11, but people come from different areas. So they are there early enough, so that they can get better seats in the hall, then they can start talking to people, so they can start networking. It's very possible for you to gain all the things you want to gain before the first person speaks at the event. That's how interesting it's going to be. But yeah, enugutechfest.com, sign up, get a ticket. Just walk into ICC tomorrow, sign up, get a ticket there, talk to people, and then share your stories with us on social media. Because there's a challenge on social media where if you share your story, you can also win some more funds as well. Ezra, it's been beautiful. It's been a pleasure. Yes. Thank you so much. And I know that a lot of people listening, they're trying as much as possible to register right now. They should. Yes. Thank you very much. We expect to see the ETF do a lot of good things, not just for Enugu and the Southeast, but for Nigeria. You're doing amazing. Thank you so much. You and the team. Thank you very much. And that's it on Afia Business Morning, and the Eastern Business Report returns tomorrow. Thank you very much for listening. My name is Nomani Wene.